my fellow Americans, it's your favorite descendant from the Eisenhower family line of settlers here, and I would just like to remind everybody that this is not about red or blue. This is about fucking morality and freedom, okay? I would like to remind everybody that if you are aligned on a cause but you don't agree on every single detail, that's fucking normal. And I would like to remind everybody that even though we are, basically not trusting certain people as far as we can fucking throw them right now, that doesn't mean that we can't work with them in order to advance a fucking goal to make sure that tyranny doesn't basically, I don't know, kick in everybody's goddamn door in the middle of the night with guns drawn so that they can basically abduct anybody who doesn't look like them, think like them, or can't afford their fucking loyalty, okay? And I would like to remind everybody that just because, you don't like one person that fits a certain descriptor of a demographic doesn't mean you don't like the entire fucking demographic. That, my friend, is called bigotry and racism, okay? And I think that we need to understand that white women who are a little bit liberal are not the fucking enemy. People who are liberal, not the enemy. People who are conservative, not the enemy. Extremists on either side's a fucking problem, okay? And I think that basically most of the people that are sitting here saying that they can reform all of the different ICE officers that are out there, getting off on the fucking cruelty, and can reform all the people that are in government that are basically covering for a gigantic P3 ring. Yeah, y'all are a fucking problem. You want to know why? Because if we don't hold people accountable, it's like my toddlers when they don't have consequences to their actions. If I tell them they're not allowed to hit me and then they keep hitting me and then nothing happens, guess what? They're just going to keep fucking hitting me, okay? So let's talk about it for a second, because there's a lot of narcissistic fucking repugnant ass people that are basically running things right now that think that they can get away with whatever the fuck they want, up to and including potentially murder. So let's talk about it, because if you basically have no consequences for the fucking wealthy and powerful, but yet you expect consequences more so for the people like, I don't know, a poor woman trying to steal baby formula so she can feed her starving baby, well then maybe, just maybe, you are going to have a big fucking problem on your hands here sooner rather than later. And I think a lot of people, like myself, need to go back to our roots and start listening to Muse's Uprising and listening to Incubus's fucking Warning and Megalomaniac specifically, because that one's a little bit fun, and honestly it feels like it's more relevant today than it was back then. But essentially I think that we also need to start listening to, Michael Jackson, and maybe, I don't know, Queen, and maybe the fucking Beatles. I don't know, a lot of different fucking genres of protest song out there that are basically warning us of all the things that have been happening in the goddamn world for a long fucking time and we've never done anything about. And I think that we should learn from all the other fucking countries that are basically opening investigations into all of their fucking top most powerful people that are involved in the goddamn P3 ring that was apparently running the goddamn world. Because it seems to me like maybe, just maybe, it's not in a vested interest for all of us if we have people that are like that running things, okay? And maybe, just maybe, when we have a whole bunch of fucking people that are basically saying, hey, we're a little bit afraid of the consequences that could come of this, so we're going to redact the names of the people that we think will, hopefully, not collapse the system if they're charged with a fucking crime. Yeah, maybe, just maybe, that system is fucking fragile as shit and we need to rebuild it, or basically, I don't know, burn it to the fucking ground if that's what's gonna take in order to basically change it. Because it seems like if it's built on a fucking foundation of cheating, of P3 behavior, of, Pizzagate, whatever the fuck that was, because apparently a lot of it was partially true, not all of it, but, more than I'd like to be comfortable with. Maybe, just maybe, that foundation deserves to fucking shatter and crumble.